Welcome to DubLife Diaries, the podcast where passion meets the open road. I'm Joe Person, your host, and also a lifelong dubber. Buckle up, because this ride is just beginning. This podcast is sponsored by Volksmania Magazine. Good times, great cars, awesome Volksmaniacs. Visit Volksmania.com to learn more about this class-leading VW magazine. Welcome back to DubLife Diaries. This one is going to be one for the books. When I say books, I'm talking all kinds of books. Now, if you've ever looked at a show-winning Volkswagen and you thought the paint was the star, you're in it for the wrong reasons. The real magic is inside. And today's guest took an old beat-up boat that he couldn't afford to fix, and he turned it into one of the most respected upholstery companies in Florida. He went from learning how to sew because he had no other choice to building award-winning interiors that stop people dead in their tracks. He's owned more than 20 classic Volkswagens. He's transformed forgotten projects into six-figure worthy masterpieces. He's earned a reputation where every stitch has to be perfect because it's his name that's on it. But what makes Alan just a little bit different isn't just the craftsmanship. It's the obsession. It's the willingness to tear apart something good just to make it great. That belief, those details that nobody notices, are actually the details that matter the most. He's the founder of Vara Upholstery. He's the co-founder of Salty Dub. Really the founder. I'm the co-founder. He's my business partner. And he's somebody that I've had the privilege of working alongside, building Salty Dub, building these events that we build together. And today we're pulling back the curtain on how this guy working out of his garage became one of the trusted names behind thousands, and I can say that with pride, thousands of custom interiors. Why he fell in love with Volkswagens, how our partnership came together, and the stories behind some of the wildest builds that you probably admired without ever even knowing that this dude created them. This isn't just a conversation about cars. This is going to be about betting on yourself, mastering a craft, and proving that sometimes the biggest opportunities start with something that's completely broken. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my dog, Alan Guevara.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me, man.
My dude, I've been waiting to do this one so excited. Just been waiting for the right time, man, but it's the right time now. All right, we're going to dive in, but before we do, let me give a couple shout outs to a couple of my awesome sponsors. First up on the list, you guys know how I feel about Volksmania Magazine. Flyest VW magazine on the face of the planet. Check these guys out, Volksmania.com. My discount code still works, DubLife10. Only in the U.S., however. And what a blessing and privilege it is that I have to mention that, because people in other countries are trying to use that discount code and it's not working. How cool is that? All right. Second shout out, Salty Dub, which is me and Alan. You guys hear me talk about it from the beach to the bay. Salty Dub is tearing up the coastal West Coast Central Florida scene. I'm excited to announce on this podcast that the shopping is live on the website again. We got all kinds of swag up on the website. DubLife10, same discount code, actually get you 10% off of merch, off of swag, off of stickers, off of the sunglasses. But here's what I'm super excited to announce. Our vent window clips are back up, and they're in stock, and we're shipping them, and they're badass. Alan, do you want to say anything about these vent window clips?
They started out to be something fun for us to build, and they're like flying off the shelf. So we ran out of stock, ran out of inventory once. We just got them back in, and once again, they're like flying off the shelf. So I would go get them now if you're thinking about it.
If you got a bust, if you got a beetle, you got the vent window on the side.
On everything, yeah.
Yeah, you get
going. Got a
going.
vent window, it'll work. Yeah.
That's it. You get going over 25, 30 miles an hour, and that window always blows closed. Not anymore.
No, sir. So they're pretty unique, man. I would recommend people not get just one pair. Get a couple. Give them away. Give them as gifts. They're super cool gifts. So
yeah, awesome. And they got the Salty Dub logo on them. They're super cool. Yeah. I'll post pictures of them installed for you guys that are on YouTube, and you can see this video. All right, my man. You ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So tell everybody, who is Alan? Who is the man behind the business, behind this owner title, and behind Salty Dub, and just everything I just mentioned and encompassed?
Oh man. I think Alan is just the kid that never grew up, man. Alan's the kid that is trapped in an old man's body that is still a child inside that just loves to build things. And I've just gotten better over the years, but he's just a kid inside, man, just enjoying life, happy and proud to be the father to Axel and fiance to Maddie, and just every day building cool creations, man. Just I'm one of the very lucky people that can say that they can enjoy what they've enjoyed as a child into their adulthood and make a living out of it.
So cool. And I can see the shop behind you. I've had the privilege of walking in that shop, walking around that shop. Everything is just so macked out and badass, top of the line equipment. You can see the bus that's back there doing a full interior on that bus. You guys have seen in some other episodes that I've had on, you know, I've shown his thing. I've shown that award-winning interior. I've showed some of the Beatles in the past you guys have seen before. I'm going to flash that stuff again because I'm just so proud of you, man. But
thank you, brother. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell us something that people think they know about you, but they actually get it completely wrong.
Oh man, they think I got to figure it out. And I don't. If there's anything that I can share is that I'm very good at winging whatever situation I'm in. I've just gotten really good at it. But I think it's funny to think that people think I got it all figured out, and it's like the complete opposite. And I'll take it. If you think I got it all figured out, thank you, because that's not the image that I'm trying to put out. I'm just good at winging it. So that's probably something a lot of people don't know about me.
A perfectionist, a very talented artist. I mean, it's probably easy to get that perception. I can certainly understand that, but very cool of you and humble of you to say that and think and feel like that. Let's answer this question because a lot of people probably want to know this. How many Volkswagens have you actually owned over the years?
That's a good question, man, and I don't know the answer.
Got to be more than 20. I mean, I think I've seen like close to 20. Yeah.
So here's the way I see it is the Volkswagens that I've owned and the Volkswagens that I bought to fix and have somebody else enjoy after I'm done with them are two different counts. The Volkswagens that I've owned and enjoyed and loved and kept for a while, probably less than 10. The Volkswagens that I bought because it was an ugly duckling sitting in somebody's garage, and I said, I can do something cool with that car, way over 30, if not even close to 40. But obviously there's a difference between those. So I don't think I've ever loved more than maybe 10 of the Volkswagens that I've owned. But then easily 30, 40 Volkswagens have gone through my garage and back out.
Yeah, and I've had the privilege of seeing some of these. The one I'm thinking of right now that just flashed across my mind is an interior that I just shared recently. But what was the one with like Burberry interior?
Burberry interior. The one that had like a shag?
It was like the Black Beetle. It was slammed and it had like the light brown plaid interior.
That was Arthur.
Arthur. That was Arthur.
I named them all, and people are like, "Why do you name them?" I'm like, "Dude, when you built so many, I can say the Beetle." And people are like, "Dude, you've owned like 20 Beetles." So like, I named them. Yeah. So that one, actually, one of my guys named it Arthur because when we did one of the seats, it was like a very, I want to say British interior. Like it was very classy, but it kind of gave you that British feel. I don't know why, but my guy looks like it. It looks at the car and says, to me, it looks like an Arthur. I'm like, dude, you nailed it. That looks like somebody like smoking a pipe with a hat on, like Arthur. So it stuck, and that was Arthur. That was one of the coolest ones that we've done in the recent past. A 60, I want to say it was a 63.
That thing was awesome. The stance on it was just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. That was one of the ones that I wish I had kept, but can't keep them all.
Can't keep them all. So let's talk about the shop. When you look around your shop today, what still reminds you or brings you back to the beginning? What reminds you of where you started?
Probably the mess. We're so busy that it's hard to keep this shop clean. But no, man, I think when I look around the shop, one of the things that is a daily reminder of where I started is actually, you might not be able to see it, but my original machine in 2011 and 2012 is still with me. And it's my machine that I stitch with. And that's I made that, it was a purpose move to remind me of my first day where I started, where I learned, this machine has literally fallen off the back of my truck when I'm driving. Like it's back in the day, I was moving shops and I hear boom, boom, and I look back and it's like bouncing on the street. I was like, oh my God. So got out, picked it up, and I got lucky enough that nothing broke majorly. So that's a good reminder of my first serious attempt at starting a shop, is the fact that I financed this machine 13 years ago and it's still with me.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, man, that's to me, it's like it's a very sentimental piece. So
I'm curious, you've splashed success. You've got a bunch of awesome, amazing, talented guys on the team. What still motivates you now after all these years in business?
creativity, man, just pushing the envelope, thinking outside of the box. I think I've been lucky enough to have a team that thinks like me, and we just push ourselves to create something more unique with every build. So I think that creativity just keeps us motivated, keeps us going, because we like to see a build that we did last year and look at it now and say, we could have done that this way. Well, let's do it this way. So every build motivates us to do something more badass, more unique. So that keeps us going, man, and it's a good feeling.
What was your childhood like?
Oh boy, my childhood was me locking myself up a lot, getting away from a lot of the family stuff. And while I was doing that, I was taking stuff apart, and I hadn't mastered how to put them back together. So I took a lot of radios apart. I took a lot of VHS players apart, and never learned again how to put them together. But I was tinkering. So I started early. The second I would learn what a screwdriver was, I was taking things apart. And I didn't learn how to put them back together until many, many, many years later. So I got in trouble a lot. But it was fun, man. And it was that my creativity or my tinkering started at an early age, and that's probably why it was my way to get away from whatever was happening in the background.
Right.
So a lot of that came from that.
So I've got one that I can say that's like that, and that's Elijah, and you know him well.
Yeah.
He's my tinkerer. He's the one that I can count on to slide up underneath the car and figure out whatever's going on, or he's
No,
my
he was helping me mess with your thing. Remember when we were working with a thing in the garage? He was there with me, man.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I love it.
That was almost 3 a.m. that we worked on that.
Yeah, no, 3:30. I remember very well. Yeah, because I was half asleep the next day, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, well, it's good kid for sure. Were you naturally artistic growing up, or really just kind of the tinkering stuff still?
I was very artistic growing up. One of my biggest things growing up was drawing. I used to draw a lot of tribal nonsense, but when I was done, you couldn't believe that a kid drew that. But as I was drawing it, didn't make any sense. But when it was finished, it was like, holy crap! Like a kid drew that. It's like, yeah, I don't know where it came from either, but I did draw it. So my creativity and my artistic creativity or personality came from an early age, from mostly drawing. It wasn't until later that I applied it to other things. I played guitar and I played a bunch of stuff. So I had it from an early age. Yeah.
Okay. How old were you? I guess maybe when you got pulled toward cars, when cars became kind of, something you were interested in.
I didn't get into cars because I wanted to. I got into cars because I had to. And what I mean by that is, I was at an early age. I was sent overseas here, and obviously money was not a thing. Like I just had to do whatever I could to save money. And one of the things that I learned was working on my own car. So I had to fix whatever broke. I had to. Sometimes I'd break it even worse, but I had to try at least. But that was how I got into cars. My first car was a Mercury Bobcat. So I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a glorified Pinto. And dude, when I tell you I put a house speaker in the trunk of this car, I put a house speaker and I tied the speakers onto the dashboard and I sparked the dashboard, and but that was because I wanted a cheap car that I could drive around and I couldn't afford anything better. So yeah, that's why I got into cars, just to try to, not cars, working on them, was to try to keep them running so that I didn't have to pay somebody else to do it. Didn't really work too well back then.
Fast forward a little bit then to, maybe even a hobby and or a passion. Why Volkswagens? Why did Volkswagens become your kind of platform of choice?
You want to know something funny? I didn't get into Volkswagen until 2020. My first Volkswagen that I owned was 2020. And a lot of people think that I've been into Volkswagens for years because how heavy I dove in. Like it was, but I didn't have my first.
You don't do anything halfway, brother. You do nothing halfway.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, it was like Maddie and I, my fiance, we wanted something to tinker with, and we bought our first car. It was a '66 Beetle. We named it Frankie after we found out that it was a Frankenstein pieced together Beetle. I didn't know what an oval was. I know that it had an oval, and to me that was normal. And then later on, I found out that was grafted. Somebody put an oval window in that car. But when we got it, we just saw this car on eBay, and I was like, "Baby, that's 4,000. The bid's for 4,000." She was like, "Oh my god, that's cheap." So I bid up to 4,500. We bought it, and when it showed up at the house, both me and her were looking at this car like, "What do we do? Like, where do we even start? That motor is nothing like I've ever seen before." Like, at this point, I'm a Chevy guy. I've had Chevelles. I've had, you name it. I was a big Chevy guy. So of course I'm popping the deck light. I'm looking at this going, I don't even know the first thing about this motor. Like, I have no clue. So it was a lot of learning, but that was after that I was hooked. And you can do so much with a Volkswagen. Like, take the body off, and then you can literally, your possibilities are endless of what you can build just on the pan. And that's where I got hooked. I got hooked because you can do anything on a Volkswagen pan. Like, their options are unlimited. So yeah, that was it. But yeah, 7 years, man, 6 years. That's all I've been in the industry for, or the community.
Yeah, and a big part of it you are. How cool.
Yeah.
How cool that you are that new to it. You know, I took a
Yeah.
long time off. I had my first Beetle
I
in
know.
high school. I know you probably
Yeah,
heard
you've
this
been in it
story
for a minute.
many times.
Yeah.
But I had to, I had to take a break on hobbies when I started having young kids and, started having to, you know, pay bills and just do other things. I couldn't really have hobbies for about 15 years. That was about the break
Right.
that I took. But I
Right.
was so happy to get back into the scene, and we'll talk about this, I'm sure, in just a little while. But getting back into the scene, you were one of the first people that I connected with when I tried to get in touch with the Skyway stuff, and
Yeah.
we connected then. But we'll touch on that in a minute. I'm
Yeah.
curious to know about the entrepreneurial side for you. Was that always there for you, or did that kind of develop over time?
100%. I was selling fake tattoos in middle school. Like, I would draw something cool and then put tape over it and then sell it to kids and say, all you gotta do is take the tape off and put it on your skin and then peel the tape off and it'll stay on your skin. And kids were like, oh, okay. And they would buy 4 of them.
You're pulling their
And
hair out with the tape.
yeah, no, it was horrible. But I sold
Oh.
them and they were like, oh my gosh, you can kind of see it. It's like, oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah, that was there for a while, man. And then from there, you name it, I've tried all sorts of different businesses. I had a business in Virginia called Safe Ride, which was I sent out 2 drivers when you were drinking, for example, and you didn't want to drive home, but you didn't want to leave your car behind. I would send 2 drivers out. One of them would drive your car home, the other one would follow, and then
Yo.
park your car, and then they would drive back home. So but I was young, man. I was young. I was dumb. I was burning all that money, and it failed miserably. But I had mobile mechanics. I went and fixed people's cars on their driveway, and that stopped because people were like, "Can you do a motor swap or a transmission?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm working on your driveway." Like, so that stopped. But yeah, no, it's always been there. It's always been there.
Let's go back to something that I'd picked up or detected from your past when I was kind of searching you and looking you up. Let's go back and tell the story about buying this chaparral, this boat.
Yeah. I saved my pennies, man. I saved as much as I could to buy a boat because I had just bought my first home. I was I want to say I was 25, 26. Bought my first house, and I am saving my pennies because this is my pride and joy. I was able to buy my house, and took forever. As a matter of fact, I don't think I saved the whole amount. I had to finance the rest. It was like $5,800 back then, and I bought a Chaparral. It was called a 2150 Chaparral SX. Ugly boat. I loved it. And we buy it and we take it out a few times. My girlfriend at the time, and because I'm so blinded by the fact that I love this boat, I completely ignore the fact that the upholstery is horrible. I mean, it's horrible. But again, I'm so like, this is it, my boat. Like, and people are looking at it like, I don't want to sit on that. So eventually, I'm like, you know what? Let me get a quote. Let me see how much it would be to reupholster it. So I go to the shop, and the guy looks at me with a serious face. He goes, I'm a little slow right now, so I'll give you a discount. And I'm thinking like, what's that, $400, $500? He goes, I'm thinking $5,800 or $5,500. So I said, dude, that's what I paid for the boat. which lucky enough, I hate it when I hear that when I give quotes. And he said, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. What sort of costs? So I said, all right, dude, I thank you. I just don't have that kind of money. So I went home and I'm like, dude, how hard could this be? And that's where the whole story with the shop begins. But I mean, we can get into that. But yeah, that was, and I called it Stitch. That was the name of that boat, Stitch.
Stitch.
Yeah.
So that's the why. That's why you decided to learn upholstery.
Yeah.
You got that repair quote or estimate, and you were like, no, like you said, how hard can this be?
Right.
So
little did I know that it can be very hard.
Right. But again, like everything else, you don't do anything halfway. So fast forward a little bit. Now you decide you're gonna, start an upholstery shop. Now you were an apprentice first for a little while, right?
Yeah, man. So first I found somebody back then. It was Craigslist, and somebody said cheap upholstery. I said, this is the guy. Cheap upholstery. That's what I'm looking for. He gave me a cheap interior. I mean, it was so bad. So after that, I was like, I am 100% sure I can do better than this. So I went to the shop. It was really close to my house, and there was an old Korean gentleman named Charles. And I said, hey man, I DJ at nights, and that's how I make my money. So I have my days free. I'm willing to work for you if you teach me for free. Like you don't have to pay me. Just do whatever you teach me what you know. And he was basically at the beginning like, I don't know if I like that idea. Like, do you have any experience? I was like, do you have any experience? No, yeah, I'm a fabricator. I can fabricate. I can work on cars. I can build you whatever you want me to build. I just don't know how to stitch. Well, his eyes lit up. And it's like, oh, well, you can do all that. You just need to learn to stitch. I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I was with him for 6 months. And I picked it up. I mean, it was quick because I was really I really wanted to learn this. And I want to say within the first month, I found a shop, not a shop, but it was a lady that was renting a shop, and the gentleman stopped paying rent and disappeared. And so she put an ad up saying $1,500 or $2,000. Somebody please come clear the shop. And as I'm going through the pictures, again, Craigslist, I'm looking at sewing machines, and I'm looking at foam, and I'm looking at materials, and I'm like, that's everything I need to start my own shop. So I went over there, had my little trailer, which all beat up, is being held together by hope and dreams. So I take my trailer over there, and I'm like, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I want everything, but I have my credit card, and it's got a $1,200 max. Can I buy the whole thing, and you run my card? I promise you, if you try to run it for $1,250, he's gonna decline. Like that's my max. The lady said, if you take that today, that's fine. So I couldn't get it out of there fast enough. I loaded the whole shop into my trailer, and off I went. And within 6 months of being an apprentice at that shop, I already set my garage up, and I was stitching for this gentleman, and again for free, and I was totally fine with that. And right when I said, "Hey, thank you for everything, thank you for the opportunity," I'm gonna try to do my own thing now. He's like, "No. I want to make you my head seamster. Would you stay?" I said, "Thank you for the opportunity, but that wasn't my end goal here. My end goal was to learn the art and then do my own thing." So he didn't talk to me. He didn't talk to me for like 2 years because I became his competition. But
Sure.
We're cool now. But yeah, that's how the whole thing started.
Wow, man. Wow. So
yeah, man.
what a hell of a ride. Now, one thing I want to say is, and for everybody listening, can you imagine a kid in our society these days doing that? Showing up and working for free, and you know what I mean?
No,
There'd
crazy.
be somebody come out.
I look back and I say, how did I do that? But
right.
When you really want to get something done, you just got to dive in.
That's it. So. That's it. Now these days, somebody try to file a lawsuit or something,
For sure.
You'd be having them in a sweatshop, or
literally, yeah. I mean, it was noisy kind of shop, like, but yeah, that's what it is. And I don't think I could do it again if I could be honest with you, because it was not easy, but damn, did it pay off.
Sure. Again, let's kind of fast forward just a little bit. I mean, like, at what point you start your upholstery shop, I don't know, you start getting some jobs, or at what point did you actually realize, like, holy shit, like this could actually be a career for me?
When the clientele started changing. So originally when I was on Craigslist, I was getting the guys with the older boats that didn't want to, basically what I was, they didn't want to pay upholstery shop prices. So I was getting the guys that were like, what do you mean $100? I'll give you $50. So in my mind, I'm like, whatever, dude, I'll take the experience. I'll do it for $50. And as the quality started getting better, clientele started to change. And I'm thinking, I might be onto something here. And I don't know if this garage is going to cut it. Like, I'm working literally out of my garage.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna bring that up because you're still in your garage at this point.
I am still in my garage. So I'm having, at one point, my neighbor, I had to go knock on her door and be like, look, before you call the county on me, let me know if this bothers you, because there was like 3 or 4 boats on my driveway. So I'm living in Virginia at the time, and I had about an acre of property, which when I tell people, they're like, oh my God, you're making so much money. No, Virginia property is not expensive. So I had about an acre of property, and I had boats in and out, parked next to each other. I mean, it was to the point that it was like, I can't believe the county didn't get called on me. Like, I still don't know how the county didn't knock on my door. So yeah, that's when I knew, like, I should probably do something legit. So
you did.
I did.
Yeah. So cool. Early on, what mistakes did you make that taught you the biggest lessons in business?
Over promising. That's one of the big things that I see a lot of shops doing, just because they want the job. They'll promise the world. They'll promise delivery times. They'll promise this and that, when in reality, it's you can't. So I learned that the hard way. When a customer say, can you make this happen for July 4th? And here we are, July 1st. And I'm like, hell yeah, I can make it happen. And then July 10th, it's calling me like, dude, I haven't seen my boat. I'm like, well, you know what? Like, you learn real quick. Stop over promising.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things.
Yeah. How about projects? What projects at first did you kind of embark on, even big or small, that really almost started to make you question yourself?
When I was new, my mentality's been, as I'm sure you've noticed by now working with me, it's 100 miles an hour from the get-go. Like, let's go, let's do this. And now I can back it up because I know myself enough to say, I can go 100 miles an hour, so let's go. Back then, I didn't have that. Back then, it was 100 miles an hour, whether I knew I could do it or not. And so yeah, that's. I had several jobs that I shouldn't have done because they were like high-end jobs, and they totally backfired. And the funny thing is, we're still friends on Facebook 15 years ago or later. But wow. A lot of the jobs that I learned the hard way were because I was not ready for it, and I did not want to humble myself enough to say, sorry, I can't do it. That's too much for me.
Right.
And I still took them on. And I finished them, but it just took 2-3 months to finish something so small because I just didn't have the experience back then.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's great. Now you can look back on it and reflect. And yeah, man, I think that's awesome. How long did you work in the garage before you actually realized, all right, it's time to do a shop. I'm gonna have to start my own, do my own, brick and mortar.
That all happened because I was getting some of these jobs that I didn't think I should be working out of the garage, in terms of, like, some of these jobs were like quality. Some of these boats that were pulling up to my garage didn't look like a boat that belonged on my driveway. So I'm doing jobs for this marina back then called Easy Cruise in Woodbridge, Virginia, and I see a little shack, and it's literally they called it the shack because all the boaters ended their day, put their boats away, and then went to this little. I mean, it was maybe 300 square feet. It was maybe a 15 by 15 shack building. And I go to the owner. I said, "Hey man, any chance you'd be interested in renting that?" He goes, "The shack? What for?" I'm like, "An upholstery shop?" He's like, "An upholstery shop?" He's like, "At the shack?" And I'm thinking to myself, like, "Hell yeah, at the shack! Like, that's such a cool spot." So I talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, let me think about it." And I'm driving home, and I'm like, "Man, I really wish I could get this." And he calls me, not even 10 minutes after we talked. He says, "Hey man, I got a proposition for you." I said, "Yeah, what's up, dude?" He goes, "I'll do $500 a month on slow season, because Virginia has very slow seasons. And then during busy season, I'll do $1,000 a month." And I'm trying to sound like this is not a good deal. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna think about this, man, but in the back of my mind, I'm like jumping, dude. Like, what? So I said, "Yeah, let me think about it, but I think that's doable." And I thought I hung up the phone. And I put my phone down. I'm like, yes, fuck yes. And I looked down, and I hadn't hung up the phone. So to this day, I don't know if he heard me because I hung up right away. I was like, oh, like, if he did hear me, then he knows I was excited. But that was one of my greatest memories from before I moved into that shop was pulling that little moment. But yeah, that's how it all got started. I moved into the shack, and that became Vara Upholstery for 5 years. The first 5 years of the shop were in the shack.
Wow,
So,
man. Was it
yeah.
was it difficult in the beginning, you know, aside from that story? Was it difficult to take the leap? Because you hear about this, right, with entrepreneurship and a lot of
Yeah.
folks, right, to take that leap, to go from
Yeah.
comfort to unknown. Was it yeah, describe that for me.
Well, you know what's funny, man? Like I don't hold it against them, but a lot of my family was not supportive at all because they were just too worried about the what ifs.
Yeah.
So I remember talking to my mom, and my mom saying, "You're gonna sign a contract?" I'm like, well, yeah, that's the lease. She said, "But for how long?" I'm like, "I don't know, Mom. 5 years, 10 years." She goes, "That means that you're stuck there for 5 years." I'm like, "Mom, I'm not thinking about being stuck. I'm thinking about growing from there." So a lot of my family had that mentality, like, "You're crazy. You're crazy because you're signing a lease on a contract." So, but once they saw where it was going, then yeah, they were all for it 100%. But I was still, dude, I was still a baby. I mean, I was in my late 20s, so I think they were just kind of worried for me, and I get that. But
Yeah.
um,
They care about you, you know, so they want to see you succeed, but they also,
sure,
and I think that gets
so
in the way of a lot of entrepreneurs, right?
yeah,
Is sometimes, and I'm not going to say a lack of, but just to paint the picture, sometimes that lack of
right,
support can stop people from pursuing their dreams.
for
So
sure, yeah. No, I didn't let that happen at all. I said my mind was like, if I'm gonna fail at something, I'm gonna fail at something because I tried and I didn't do it right versus not trying at all. So one of my biggest things is like you will miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
yes,
So if I'm gonna miss 100% of the shots, then I'm gonna take some shots, and even if it's 50% of the shots I take, I'll make. That's worth it to me. So
yeah,
that's the mentality that's carried me.
yeah,
So
no, and I know that of you also. You know, you are definitely not afraid to fail.
for
You know,
sure,
you just put yourself out there and try. Worst they're gonna say is no, or worst they're gonna say is yes. You know, and
right?
I'm kind of the same way. You know, I'm certainly not afraid to fail. I think
Well,
that's probably why we do pretty well together.
I think failure is such a strong word because to me, like I had to retrain myself that there's no such thing as like failing. So you attempt to do something, you either accomplish it or you learn.
Yeah,
So I'm either gonna win or whatever I'm trying to do, or I'm gonna learn about it. Like I feel failure sometimes is such a strong word to use because you really didn't fail. If you keep on going, you're eventually going to succeed. It's just kind of how it goes. So you're
right,
just learning. Sometimes you're learning how not to do things.
right.
So, but yeah, no, for sure, man. It's a quality that I know you have it because you and I hustle for Salty, and I feel like you don't. You're better than me because you don't learn. You don't know how to stop grinding. Like it scares me sometimes to be rejected and say, okay, fine, don't do it. That's fine. I'm cool with it. You're like, no. We're gonna do this. Like if this opportunity didn't present itself, it didn't work. We're gonna try over there. And if that one doesn't work, we're gonna try over there. So you're. I'm good at what I do, but I think the way that you are more persistent than me, dude. It's like an amazing quality, bro. And that's not something that everybody has.
Yeah,
So I have to like
there's
commend
no
you for
quit here. I think that's probably just the order birth order for me. You know, I got two older
that.
brothers. They were rough. They were rough on me. You know, I had all their friends around me my whole childhood, and there was no such thing as quit. Uh,
Right. And
so
I can see that working with you, I can see that.
yeah.
So it's amazing to see somebody that has that quality because not everybody has that quality.
Well,
So
thank you. Appreciate that,
yeah, man,
man.
of course, of
So
course.
let's talk about quality because quality for you is just it's not something that really even has to be talked about. It's just if I know if you're involved, quality is understated. But for you in your life and in your projects and in everything that you touch or that has the Vera name on it, why is quality so important to you?
Man, I wish I knew the answer to that. I'm like obsessed with doing things right. It's not necessarily a good thing. Sometimes it's not a good thing. Sometimes okay is okay. I just don't accept that sometimes. Most times. I like to think that there it could have been done better, and I apply that to a lot of what I do. Unfortunately, sometimes it kind of turns into like a more like a obsessive behavior of like that can be done better, that can be done better. But for the most part, it's worked out great for me because of how it's worked and where it's gotten me. But yeah, that's a quality that I have. I don't know how I got it, but it's definitely every time I approach something, I'm not approaching it as a let's see what I can do. More of a we're gonna do this and it's gonna be badass by the time we're done. And it's worked. So
It's
for
worked
sure.
well. It's worked well. And we can even kind of speed up and fast forward to today. You
Yeah.
guys recently have won an award at your shop for one of the, Tampa Bay's best upholstery shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me what that means to you and your team.
Oh, it was so humbling. It was amazing because we didn't even know we were in the run. So when we found out that we were in the running, it was like towards the end of the voting, and somebody sent me the link. Like, did you know that you can vote for your shop? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, somebody what's the word? Not suggested, but nominated us
Yeah.
for the best shop. And I didn't know till I feel like there was like a week left of voting, and I shared the link. I was like, if you want to share some support, well, we ended up winning, and dude, that was like we were competing with shops that have been in the industry for 30, 40 years locally. And I mean, technically, we're like the baby shop. We've only been around since 2019, so 6 years, 7 years. These guys have been around for a long time. There's generations, shops that have been open for different generations. So to us was like, holy heck, dude, like we're up there. And we don't like to think of ourselves as the best. We just like to think of ourselves like the best that we can do. And that's okay. Like if the best that we can do is it's acceptable. That's the best I got. So yeah, no, that when we got that award, dude, it was humbling. We loved it. And we just recently got another one, Best of St. Pete. So that's two in the last 6 months.
Yeah, good
So
for you, man.
I mean, my guys get excited. I kind of get like, it's still hard to believe that we're getting those, but I'll take them. I'll
Yeah.
take them. I'll display them.
Well,
So
well deserved. Do you look
thank you,
at
man.
do you look at the last, 6 years, 7 years, and do you have like at the top of your mind, do you think about, hey, here are some projects that I'm most proud of? Like, do any ring a bell if I say what projects are you most proud of?
A lot of them. It's hard to pinpoint a specific one, but a lot of
Yeah.
them.
I figured. I just wanted to ask though, because you never know.
Well, in the upholstery world, I feel like some of the boats that we're the most proud of are the ones that show up from another country, that we don't even know how they heard about us. So we've had boats shipped out from the Bahamas. We've had boats shipped out from St. Croix. We've. I mean, it's like, how did you even how? And they will pay. They will pay to get the boats, the interiors here, and then pay to get everything shipped out. One guy sent his whole boat. He literally sent his whole boat here, got me on the phone and said, hey, I'm in the Bahamas. This is what I want. I've seen your work. Like, roll with it. I'm sitting there like, yeah. And
Yeah.
he flew here to hop on his boat and navigated back to the Bahamas after we did the interior for him. So
Dude,
those are the ones that we're like, it just gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling like, damn,
sure.
dude, like they did the research and we were the ones that they chose. So in terms of Volkswagens, dude, you name it. There was a Volkswagen bus that we turned into a Baja. I don't know if you ever saw that build. That one won, I think, won like base the most custom in Lakeland, and we named it Luigi. That was one for the books. We did like a tent on the top, and we did slide outs for
That was
helmets,
the
hammocks.
black and green, right?
The black and green one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, that
I've seen
was
that. Yeah, sick,
yeah.
dude. Sick.
That I look back on all the builds we've done, and that's probably one of my most favorite. Like, where do we even come up with that idea? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
So
Before we stop talking about the upholstery side of things and we switch it up, and obviously it's a VW podcast, so we'll go to VWs. Uh,
yeah.
Tell me, what are maybe some details that might take the longest in on the upholstery side that customers might not ever know or notice?
Fitment. And what I
Fit.
mean by that is anybody can stitch a piece together and throw it on, but we're so adamant about making sure that everything fits perfect. And what I mean is straight lines, straight seams, things lining up, cushions, seats lining up with each other, the design flow. Everything has to fit just right. And sometimes the customer doesn't even notice, but we notice. So we've noticed before that on a picture, my guys will do an interior, and then the customer like picks it up. He's super happy, and then he'll post something online saying, "Oh, my new interior from Vara Upholstery," and it grinds my gears to see two cushions that are like not lined up by a half inch. And I've literally called the customers and said, I need you to know I'm sending one of my guys to pick up that cushion because I don't like the fact that those seams are not lining up, and we'll bring it right back after we fix it. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. So those are the things that to us, it's like, you might not notice, but to me, I know we could have done better, and it's going to get done right. Yeah. So those are the things that a lot of customers don't notice, but we notice. And that's what matters. So.
Okay. All right. We'll flip it up now. We'll talk about VWs. Now, I know there's been a lot. We just touched on one that you a bus that you turned into a Baja. You said also before that Walter was one that you wished you'd never sold. Any others stand out of the 30 plus that you had that you wish you never sold?
Our first one, Frankie. Our first one was the one that we learned a lot from. Like I said, I didn't. So the funny part is that I started with a Beetle that wasn't close to factory whatsoever, and I didn't know that. I just thought this is a Beetle. This is what they are. Well, little did I know I had a little race motor with dual carbs. It was slammed. And it was a grafted oval window. I didn't know any of this. To me, this is a Beetle. Cool. Well, then I learned, it's a grafted oval. What's an oval? Well, that's one of the most badass cars you can get. It's an oval, in my opinion. And that's not original in that car. Somebody put that on there. Oh, okay, now I know. By the way, that is not that low. That's not normal. So I learned so much of this car. And they had like different fenders, and that's why we called it Frankie. So that's the one that I missed the most, the one that I learned the most from. But again, there's been so many that every single one of them teaches you something. But that would be the one that is like the most that I missed the most.
Looking back, which build challenged you the most? Any stand out?
Probably, the Baja was very challenging, but it was a fun challenge, not a, oh boy, why am I doing this kind of challenge. I think the most recent rack top that I built was from scratch, and I didn't know that big motors could be. I didn't know. Let me take that back. I didn't know how big of a challenge it would be to get that big motor tuned and running right. And so we went with everything: custom paint job, custom interior, custom trim to match the running boards that we also wrapped to match the rack top material. We went all out. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm done. All I got to do is throw this motor in, and boom. That wasn't the case at all. So that was a challenging one to tune it, because if anybody knows me, they know that I can put a motor in a car and I can do the outside, dress it up real nice, but I don't do the internals myself. That I've never learned. So I had somebody else build this car, and come to find out it was the wrong cam, and it was a cam that was made for a turbo motor, and this wasn't a turbo motor, so it was not easy to tune. It was not really too drivable. I learned that the hard way. I think I broke down every other time I drove that car, or not broke down, but I had issues with carbs and tuning. So that was a very challenging build in terms of like the mechanical aspect. But it played out. It turned out great. I love that car. You've seen the car. It's
sick. That was one of my personally one of my favorites.
Yeah.
For absolute sure. Your thing. I love it. I talk about it. I flash pictures of it on other podcast episodes. What does that Bug Jam win mean to you?
It was amazing. Dude. I didn't think I was. So I take that back. When we loaded that thing onto the trailer, I'm looking at my guys. I'm thinking, there's no way we're not winning the show. There's just no way. When we unloaded at Bug Jam, and I'm looking at the other cars, I'm like, okay, guys, this is a tough one. Like, I think all the guys, I'm like, you know how I said that there's no way we're not going to win this show? Like, dude, you should see the cars that are here. So I just want to let you guys know that we might not take this win. And that's okay. But the cars that are here are a whole nother level. So when they finally say my name, I was like, holy hell, like we actually pulled it off. And there was a thing literally right next to me that it was insane. It was an EV conversion. Yeah. I thought he was taking the whole show. I literally thought he was taking the whole show. But no,
the Tesla thing, that thing is dope.
It was insane. The paint, the interior, the motor. It was. I didn't think I took that. And the funny thing is, I had registered two things, because I had one that was more like a raggedy, like I want to say like a rat thing, that was supposed to go with it. So we had 2 classes. We had modified and we had full custom. The modified was going to be for the little ratty one. The full custom was for the blue thing, the one that you've seen. So when we got there, I talked to Randy. I said, Randy, I sold that thing yesterday. So I have 2 things registered. I was like, are you okay with me joining 2 classes? Because if not, then I have a registration for a thing and I don't have another thing. He said, Alan, if you want to join the other class, I don't care. Join the other class. So yeah, we took 2 classes. And dude, that's the only the only Bug Jam win that I've taken. I think in the past has been like second or third, but I've never won. So yeah, that was insane. I loved it.
Yeah, it was insane, and that car is insane.
Yeah. I think I have
absolutely.
it for sale, highly priced, because I secretly don't ever want to sell it. So,
Yeah, good. Keep
beautiful
that
car.
price up there. I don't want to see it go. You're also going to be in Volksmania at the end of the year with
Hell yeah.
a full feature on that, and I'm excited for that.
Thank you for helping make that happen, man. Thank you.
Oh, dude, of course. And I'm super excited because Paul had just reached back out to me. Matt had reached out to him for the thing that I'm sorry, for the Gia that he's painting for me. And Paul's also going to want to do the Gia. So not only are we partners and we riding this thing till the wheels fall off, but we're going to be in a magazine at the same time, which
I love that.
is super cool. Yeah. Okay.
Cool,
I think I wanted to talk about trends because I see you as somebody that is trendy, and popular and stylish and all that. So I'm eager to find out an artist approach to this, right? What trends do you actually like seeing in the Volkswagen community?
Seeing creativity, man. I like seeing people's creative side.
Okay.
I can respect the so-called purists. I can respect a 100% original, pristine car. However, that's just not me. I like to get my hands on it and do something unique. So I respect and I admire people's builds that are just one-off, unique, custom. So that's my thing. Anytime I see somebody showing a unique car that they had their hands on and they made something so super cool with it, that to me is what I gravitate to. Like that is a trend that I hope that never goes away. That everybody just says, you know what, I feel like putting a red dot in that fender just because I feel like put a red dot. It's like, that's cool. That's, to me, that's my thing, man. I love it. So
How about opposite end of that? What trends do you wish would disappear?
I don't wish for any trend to disappear. I think what I would love to see go away is people thinking of a value of their car mainly because of what they see online. I hate seeing people think that the value of their car is determined by what's currently on social media, what people are sharing. I think a lot of big guys that do these builds and custom builds, and they're not posting on social media. A lot of them don't post anywhere really, because it can be a great tool and it can be also very breaking or it just, I can see somebody showing their build and them being beat down online. And then to me, that just kind of kills it. So that's a trend I would love to see disappear. Like, support everybody, support it. If you don't like the build, keep scrolling. But that trend of knocking something down because you don't like it, to me, needs to go away, dude. And it just needs to go away. So
Yeah, huge. And I'm a big supporter of that too.
yeah,
Support, this podcast has given me an opportunity to interview guys, well, actually all over the world now, which is really cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool that I can say that. But something that stands out a lot to me is the VW community. And I just love that I can see this togetherness, this posse, across the world. That's all kind of connected for, the same, common interests, which is Volkswagens. And it doesn't matter if it's air cooled, if it's water cooled, if it's a community, it's a vibe. And
100%.
it's great, man. I love it. I love it so much
It's a
that,
little family. It's super cool, man.
yeah, man.
You know, some of the stories that make me all warm and fuzzy inside, of the guy started traveling, like, and you just interviewed him, forget the name, but the crust bus. Like, you can break down
Dave
somewhere.
Brown.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
He can break down in the middle of nowhere and post on a Volkswagen group, I need help. And people would come out the woodworks. That's community right there. I love it. I love seeing it.
Yeah.
So that, dude, yeah, I think this community, although just like every community, there's good and bad, but there's mostly good. And the people in this community are like family. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, dude. And I'm so lucky that I found it. And I found you and I found the people that we are in our group. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Good time. Good time to enter this into the conversation. And do you actually do you remember the first time that we met?
100%. 100%. Yeah, I was intimidated, not gonna lie. Your mentality of like this shit done is amazing, but to me it intimidated me because I was like, whoa, this dude means business, and I'm over here like trying to have fun. But the more that we got to talk and plan, I'm like, okay, we're going somewhere, and this dude is like ready to go, and I'm ready to go and make this happen. And the first time that we talked, you had said, does anybody know what happened to the Volkswagens over the Skyway? You posted it on a group.
Yes.
And I said, yeah, I've been trying to make this happen, but I just don't have the energy. Or like, I just don't. And I remember your exact words were, put me in, coach. I said, okay, all right.
I actually remember that.
Yeah. So yeah, we connected from there. And that's, dude, I mean, I feel like that was like perfect timing. What's come from that is amazing. Like, you are a master in your craft, dude. Like you are a go-getter. You make stuff happen and you make it look easy too. So I'm just glad that we crossed paths, dude.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Not even, for you noticing, but also just for you being willing to take this fucking crazy energy that I have and turn it into something, because like you said, I'd say 95% of people turn the other way. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? Who does he think he is? All this stuff.
No, it wasn't in that way either.
No, I know, but that's what I get, man. I'm just a passionate guy. I'm very passionate. I've dumped my life into shit for people, and I'm way good with that. But something that you said, it hit home for me. I forget exactly what it was right now, but my wife actually says it all the time. I just don't let shit slip. It's just in me. It's ingrained in me. If I put my mind to something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it till I'm just gonna do it, man. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people say that that's how they are, and not a lot of people that say that that's how they are actually are like that. You are.
Yeah.
Like if I hear you say, for example, the podcast, when I heard you mention, I'm like, yeah, dude, that's cool. Here you are over 70 episodes. I'm sitting there like, dude, he this is what he said he was gonna do, and look at him now. Like you don't just share an opinion, you share your goal, and that it's not just a goal. It's like, this is what I'm doing. Period. Like I'm just telling you what I'm doing because I'm gonna get it done. And you showed me that that's how you are, dude. And more power to you. I'm lucky to be a part of seeing you go through this. So
hey,
cool.
and I feel the same way, and I think that's probably why we click so well. There's a mutual respect there, completely, different, but also a lot the same.
For sure.
I feel like, artistically, all that stuff, the way that we arrive at the goal is completely different, but we both fucking get there.
Absolutely.
We both get there. On the relationship side of it, was there, I guess you may have just answered this, but like, was there a point where you started to really kind of realize, maybe we work well together?
Dude, the second we had our first conversation, I remember I was sharing my concerns, and your attitude was more of like that's easy. I got this. It's like, dude, I don't know how we do this, and I don't know how I remember saying stuff like, I don't know how we have to pull permits. I don't know who we need to call. I don't know. And you were like taking notes, basically saying, I got it. Yeah, I'm on it. Done. And in my mind, I'm like, is he just saying that? No, dude. 3 days later, you're like, I called everybody. I got the permits, or I talked to the city, and I'm sitting there like, oh shit, you got it done. Like let's go. Like that's something that I don't have that you compliment me well. It's like your let's get it done attitude is different than mine, because I like artistic and all that stuff, but you knock on doors, you make phone calls, you talk to people like when you want to get something done, and I'm the opposite. I'm very quiet, and here's my area. I'm going to be working on an interior in a car. Like, I don't want to knock on a door because I don't want to deal with trying to present something. They might not like it. And so I think, dude, this has been like perfect. This what I lack, you have. What you lack, I have. And it's like it's worked out amazingly.
Yeah,
So,
every head needs a neck.
yeah.
Right, every head needs a neck, and there's always the implementer, and there's always the visionary. And I think you're a fantastic visionary, and I'm very good at implementing. you know
For sure.
and I think that's
Dude,
just we play that.
100%.
Yeah, we play that
And
off of each
I
other.
love the fact that you let me come up with the most wild ideas, and then you
I need
somehow
them.
say your
Yeah.
idea is crazy. I like it, and I'm going to make it happen. And then you add on top of the idea and make it even crazier, and then make it happen. Like, dude, it's amazing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Salty Dub wouldn't be where it is if this connection hadn't happened. 100%.
You just got to keep giving me the craziest ideas, like ending up renting a pier for the Skyway PM ride, because as soon as
Well,
you
I don't. Not to take any credit from you, like you add to my ideas because I feel like you feed off of my craziness sometimes, or my
oh,
crazy ideas, and you say, "Well, what about we do this?" I'm like, "Yes." So I can come up with the craziest thought that I can come up with, and then you have stuff to add to it. I'm like, "Dude, if you can make that happen, let's go." And then you make it happen.
yes,
So yeah,
yes.
dude.
That's the best, man. That's the best. Okay. I don't have to ask what strengths I bring that complement yours, because we really just talked about that. But
Yeah, yeah.
how about on maybe the not so great side of things? Have there ever been any disagreements that we've had to look past that you think might have made our partnership stronger? Because we're both grown.
Um, you know, I've tried business partners in the past, and it's never worked out because when there's a disagreement, it tends to get ugly, and one of the two can sometimes not share the issue, or they tend to not share where they're at mentally, and then it turns into resentment, and then the relationship kind of. We've never had that. I feel like if we both are presenting ideas and one of us doesn't like it, we voice it, we're quick with it. There's no hard feelings. On to the next one. I don't think I've ever had a situation where I'm like, man, Joe might not be the guy to partner up with because blah blah blah. Never, not once. So it's funny because sometimes I'll say, dude, how about we do this? And then you said, I don't know, man, maybe, or vice versa. And it's never been an issue. Like we've been able to be so honest with each other. I've never had any. I don't know about on your end, but on my end, I've never had a single time where I've been like, yeah, no, I don't think this is gonna work out with him.
No,
So not at all.
no, not on my end either. No,
Yeah,
and I think that's just because there's allowable freedom.
yeah, for sure.
There's freedom for me to express myself. There's freedom for me to, not necessarily fail, but to learn.
Right.
And there's no opinion, bro. You don't realize how difficult that is to be able to accomplish that in a business partnership. It's the lack of opinion. You have your ways, I have my ways. We can fucking meet in the middle and get shit done. There's going to be some things I do that aren't going to be your way, and there's going to be a lot of things that you do that aren't my way. It's okay. Let's just arrive
Totally fine.
at the goal. Let's get to the
Right.
end, and let's kind of bask in the glory of the finish line together.
Right. 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 Right.
How we get there is completely irrelevant.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
And,
So
and damn, have we gotten there? Dude, some of our
yeah.
events are still just to think about them. It still gives me goosebumps.
Oh, and we're just getting started, bro. We're
For
just
sure. For sure.
So let's touch on Salty Dub for a minute, because what a cool brand, what a cool thought, what a cool movement. Because it's not just a logo and a hat, right? It's not just a sticker, it's not just a vibe. Dude, we're doing this. We have
Right.
got some historic events now that are
Right.
blowing up online, that have thousands of followers, that are really starting to create and take some traction. And I talk to guys from all over the country. I mean, look, Dave Bronin just came from California to hang out with us at the Skyway event.
Yeah.
You
That
got
was huge.
bro. We're touching down. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons that, and I'll talk about this, one of the reasons that we put together the Skyway PM ride, and you had the idea to put it on the pier, was we're copying Huntington Beach with their dubs on the pier, right? We're like, how can we get this shit on the water? How can we, duplicate the same thing? And you were like, Let's see if we can rent the Skyway fishing pier. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Fucking
And
wash
again, one of those thoughts that I just said out loud that you said, okay, I'll make it happen. And boom.
right.
So
Yeah.
dude, that was insane.
Insane for sure. So with Salty Dub, your perspective, your side of it, what makes Salty Dub different than other brands that are in the Volkswagen community?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I think that we're in it for the right reasons. I think that people need to understand that this was never a money grab. This was, if anything, is the complete opposite because we're like not making
Right.
anything.
I'm about to say, hold on, I'm losing money.
Right. So I think that we're in it for the right reasons. It's mostly for the community. It's mostly for keeping the vibe and the culture going. So I think that's why we are doing as well, because there's other brands that you can clearly tell there is just a money grab. It's not for what we are trying to achieve here. And I think that's why we're doing how we're doing, and we got where we are, and we're just getting started. But I think that's why it took off so fast on us. People realize and notice that to us, this is just, hey, we love the community, we love the family, we love the culture. Like, let's do something. And I think that's why it's taken off the way it did. Fast.
Yeah.
And our first, what was it, 400 and some odd cars the first time that we did the Skyway? Like, that was insane.
Yeah, like 440. Yeah, crazy.
Dude,
Wow. We've yet to see that number again for Skyway, but
for
hey,
sure. Yeah.
I'm hopeful. We just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
From your perspective, where do you see Salty Dub, say 5 years from now? What's the vision you have, Mr. Visionary?
You know what? I would love to see Salty Dub not just nationwide. Let this grow worldwide, but I don't want it to grow like as a business, because that's really not what this is. I want it to grow as like the community has now like a staple per se. Like, the community has something that they can all relate to, and the whole Salty Dub came from. I like Rust. I love Rust patina. So Salty Dub in the beach, put it together. So
Yeah,
I think that I would love to see like chapters, maybe. Like, I don't even know how to describe my vision, but I would love to see like a Salty Dub California, Salty Dub Virginia, Salty Dub Florida, and like all these groups that are together under the name Salty, because that's just kind of what they can relate to. And I would love to see shows like nationwide, worldwide, and just bringing the community to celebrate that one special day or that one special weekend, just that we all have something in common. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just like I said, I'm the dreamer here. So I would love to see that. Like, Salty Dub isn't just a brand; it's the lifestyle, it's the camaraderie, it's the community. So to me, it'd be cool. Hey, man, like, how about we schedule that we all drive 10 hours to blah blah blah, and then Salty Cali and Salty Georgia and Salty Florida, we all show up, and all of a sudden it went from 400 to 4,000. So wouldn't that be something? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it sure would be. And you just said it. So now, we're gonna have to put our heads together, try to make some chapters happen.
Yeah.
So from a promoter's perspective, and I can answer this question, but I've had the luxury of being able to do this on some other podcast episodes. What do people not see that like go on behind the scenes from a promoter's angle?
The long nights, man. I mean, I feel like you and I know it very, very well. The long nights, the stress of a show, like the last minute curveballs that get thrown at us. It's not easy. So I wouldn't say I feel bad, but I feel like the people that do this for a living, I have so much respect for them now. For the people that obviously don't know, like Joe, like you and I we have our businesses. This is just kind of for the community, and we love bringing people together. But for the people that do promotion or shows for a living, I respect you. I respect you so much, because we have learned that this is far from easy. And people think that it's just as simple as like paying a venue, renting a parking lot, and then everybody drives to the parking lot. Like,
everybody comes. No.
Right. That's not even remotely close. I mean, it's the getting everything organized, which is one of the things that makes Salty salty. I mean, people know that our events are organized, and we have so much going on, and we have vendors and sponsorships and trophies and car shows and cruises and blah, blah, blah. That all takes so much time. And I've learned that it's not as easy as I originally thought this was going to be. However, the day of, you and I are on cloud nine every time. Like we did this, we put this together, and the community showed. So it's worth it. But yeah, no, what I would think that a lot of people don't see that the behind the doors, behind closed doors, all the work that's involved, and all the moving parts and all that stuff.
If you had to describe yourself, would you see yourself as an artist or more of a craftsman?
That's a tough one, man. I'm a craftsman that likes to think that he produces art.
You're a,
but a lot of people might not see
fantastic
that.
artist.
Yeah, thank you, brother. But
Yeah.
first, a craftsman, 100%, and then I like to think that when I'm done, I showed my artistry through my craftsmanship. But always a craftsmanship will be first, for sure.
What do you think inspires your designs?
Knowing or testing myself, man. Testing how creative and unique I can be before it becomes gaudy, before it becomes like, oh boy, too much. So I like to test how much creativity I can put into a design before it's too much. And I feel like every time I get just to that line where I'm like about to be, all right, too much, dude, and just stop. So my creativity, what motivates me to do every new design or whatever I'm doing is, okay, let's see how creative we can get. Push the envelope, show people something they've never seen before without crossing that line of making it gaudy, making it just too much. So every build it's the motivation is that just show a better, cooler design. So,
Okay, cool as hell.
yeah, thank you.
What has entrepreneurship taught you most about yourself over the course of your career? Still a young man, still growing, still blowing up, but what have you learned so far? What's entrepreneurship taught you about yourself most?
Oh man, it'll humble you. It'll remind you really fast that you don't have all the answers. It'll remind you really fast that whether you like to admit it or not, you're still winging it. Whether you're 10 years into it, 20 years into it, I mean, you don't ever have the same issue or situation come up. So it's to me, it's just being good at tackling whatever comes your way. And it's taught me that even if you don't know the answer, just swing. If you don't swing, you're going to strike out. So you might as well swing. So that's what I've learned over all these years. If I don't know how to do it, you best believe you're not going to know, because I'm going to make it look like I know what I'm doing. And that's at the end of the day, I'll know that because of my mentality, I'll do okay, but I'm not going to let you know that I'm winging this. So yeah, entrepreneurship for as many years as I've been doing it, it's still challenging daily, every day. It's just learning that you don't always have full control of what you're doing, and that's okay.
Hell yeah. So what advice then would you give somebody that is looking to start their own shop, their own garage, their own upholstery business, their own VW repair shop? What advice do you give somebody from your perspective?
Try, man. Just swing. There's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people that tell you it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be really hard, but so what? Life is hard. Like, try. One of the things that I said earlier, that you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So take some shots, and you're going to strike out if you don't swing. So swing. A lot of people are getting to start their own business. Just don't let anything scare you. Stay focused. Keep going forward. My dad is saying in Spanish, I don't even know how it would translate, but you don't take steps back even to catch momentum. Just keep going forward.
I think that's called propagate.
Okay.
To move forward. Yeah, propagate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
But yeah, no, I didn't even know that. You taught me something new right now. Yeah, that's what I'm
Careful, man. He'll turn it into a fucking business.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to it, but because I don't think you see it as that, right? But how do you handle failure?
I learn.
There you go.
I
Yeah, I figured you
I
were going.
don't like to think if I fail at something, I don't ever like to think of it as I failed at something. I like to think of it as I didn't win this one, but I learned. So is it a failure to do something and not get the outcome that you wanted? No, you might have just learned how not to do something and then try again. So I don't let it get to me. I mean, failure sometimes can be hard for sure, but I try not to let it get to you and just use it as a learning experience. So
Success. What does success mean to you today versus when you first started your business?
oh boy, one of the biggest lies that you tell yourself when you're starting a business is I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to have so much money. And my goal is going to be like have stupid amounts of money. And that was
Lambo.
back then, 10 years ago. Now, dude, I tell people I'm just, if I can pump gas and feel comfortable enough to just look away and not see those numbers rolling, like I'm okay. I'm happy.
That is so funny.
Just allow myself to feel comfortable, to take breaks with my family, to spend time with them, to go on vacation if I want to. Like success changes in every step of it.
Yeah.
At the beginning, like I said, to me, success meant something completely different.
Right.
Now it's like, dude, I don't care how much money I got in the account. Like I'm just comfortable enough taking my family somewhere, spending some time, doing whatever I want to do, and then coming back to it. And I know I'm going to kill it when I get back to what I'm doing. So, yeah, it's changed. Definitely changes over the years. So,
let's talk about legacy for just a second. What legacy do you hope that Vara Upholstery leaves behind? And in the same breath, what legacy do you personally want to leave behind when you look at the scope of life?
I'd like to think that Vera will leave a legacy that we were known for racing that bar as high as we could and setting the standard. I think that's a good way to look at it, man. Like just when people think of Vera, they automatically should think like, okay, well now your bar is there and we got to meet that. But on a personal level, I feel like it's not about what we've done design wise, build wise, interior, whatever. I feel like it's all about, I want to be my legacy. I would like to be remembered as the guy that made you feel good, man. Like people don't remember what your car looked like when you were done. People won't remember the interior you did on their boat. People won't remember how unique the design was, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Oh, yeah,
So
will.
I feel like that's
Will.
I would love to leave that. I don't remember what the guy did on my boat, man, but he really made me feel like I was part of I was there hanging out with some good people, and he made me feel good about what I was doing. Just about that feeling, man. Like that's what I'm all about. If I made you feel good and the connection that we had was like legit, and that's, I'm happy with that being my legacy, man.
I don't think you could have said it any better, brother. That was absolutely fantastic. All right, so describe the Volkswagen community for me in just one word.
Family.
Family.
Yeah.
I hear that one a lot, and that's okay. That's okay.
It reminds me of Vin Diesel over here, family.
Because it is. Because it is.
It 100% is. 100%.
100%. All right, I got some rapid fire questions. All right, these are questions that demand a fast response. If we got to slow down and tell a story, if something gets generated out of one of them, I'm way good with that. These are in no means to cut you off or not let a story happen, but they are designed to be fast answers. You ready for them?
Go for it.
All right, first one. Favorite VW that you've ever owned?
Frankie, 66 Beetle.
All right. Dream car that you haven't built yet?
Volkswagen, I think it's called an SP2 or PS2. SP2, I believe. Is a German sports car.
Yeah.
It was, I'm sorry, not German. It was a Brazilian model. I want to say SP2.
I think it's like the SP20 or something. I know what you mean. It's like the bubble back in the
gorgeous.
Front. Oh, it's so sick looking.
Tell you what, man, if I'm ever able to get my hands on it, that's a wrap. That is a wrap. You don't see them come up often.
I can't wait. That means I'm gonna be seeing one of them one day. Good stuff.
100%. Yes, I'm manifesting it now. I'm gonna own one someday when I come across one.
Love that.
That or the Fridolin, I think it's the little truck
Yeah,
It looks like a milk truck.
the Frito-Lin. I think it was a mail truck overseas.
Oh yeah,
Those are sick too. Those are really sick
yes,
too. The door slides open, you know,
yes.
so
Oh,
they can transfer that mail without running into the mailbox.
yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
so
Those
cool.
two,
So
man.
cool.
Uniqueness, 100% right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are both sick. All right, all right. How about this one? Leather or vinyl?
Vinyl, and I'm gonna probably catch shit for this one, but there's a lot of options in vinyl, and I'm always dirty and greasy, and I don't want to ruin my leather, so I'll go with vinyl.
Okay. All right. Well said.
Yeah,
Split window or oval?
oval, 100%. Oval.
Air
I
ride.
fell in love with my fake oval Frankie.
Yeah, yeah, no, all good, all good. Air
Yeah,
ride or static?
air ride, 100%.
All right. And I put this one in here just for you, the fabricator, the seamster. Favorite stitch pattern?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. There's many, but there's one that's called a split hexagon, and it's basically a big hexagon that's split in the center, and hexagon pattern. Yeah, dude. I mean, our machines you can't see, but we have like 200 different options. One of the split hexagon will forever be my weakness.
So sick and so cool.
Yeah.
Most underrated V-dub color.
Oh man, I want to say rust. I'm such a rust guy. Patina. Sorry. I like Bahama Blue a lot. But if you give me the option of a perfectly mint Bahama Blue or patina, I'm gonna go with a patina.
Okay.
Yeah.
One tool that you can never work without.
Tape measure.
Tape measure. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
One person who influenced your career the most.
Oh boy, I gotta give it to Charles, man. Charles was the first guy that allowed me to take that apprenticeship. He taught me everything about upholstery, and I just grew from there. So I'm lucky that he doesn't hate me anymore. The first couple of years he was mad, but after that we were able to connect again, and I showed my appreciation and my gratitude for everything he did. So
Shout out to Charles. Cool. I hope he gets a chance
man.
to see this or to listen to this.
For sure.
No, we touched on this a little bit, but maybe just a shorter version. One piece of advice for somebody that's out there chasing their dream of entrepreneurship, of business ownership, of starting a company like Salty Dub, putting on a Volkswagen show that's got 400 cars. You know, one piece of advice, quick for them. Somebody chasing their dreams.
Go for it. Go for it. Don't listen to the naysayers, man. Just keep going. It'll happen. Just stay focused and keep chasing it.
Okay. What's next for Alan? What's next? What's next, and where can people find you? Somebody wants to follow along your journey, your business, you on Instagram. What's next? Where can we find you?
Oh man, I'm just getting started, brother. I did boats for so long, and I just now started tapping into automotive. I've been doing my own cars for years, and that's why people reached out and said, "Hey, man, you need to start offering this." And I was like, "No, man, I'm just doing it as a hobby." So we finally opened the automotive industry last year, and it's like I'm just getting started, man. Like my goal is just bigger, better, badder. Like I just want a shop that you will drop your car off and pick up a show car, whether it's paint, audio, interior, you name it. That's the goal now. Which is funny because it was if you asked 16-year-old Alan, what do you want to do for a living? I used to say customize cars. Never did I think that this would be here. So I say that's the goal, man. And if you ever want to get your car done and you want to check out any of our work, VaraUpholstery.com, and you can find us everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Google, like you name it, we're everywhere. But yeah, just reach out. On the website, there's a link says socials, and you'll see all the social pages and all the work and stuff.
And
but yeah, man, I'd love to to connect with everybody.
And you're on Instagram personally too, right? Aren't you?
I am, yeah. FLV Dubbers. Don't know why, but we picked that name and we stuck with it. But yeah, FLV Dubbers.
Florida V Dubbers, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. You'll be able to see a lot of the builds there. I mean, if you scroll through, you'll see like the craziness and all the unique out of nowhere builds that we have done, and you'll see some of the cool ones, some of the not so cool ones. But yeah, no, I thought it'd be double.
I'm going to flash them. Those of you that are joining and going to see the YouTube version of this, you will have seen this whole episode. I'm going to be showing all these cars he's talked about, all these ones that he's built. We're going to be flashing pictures of them, so good stuff. And that's a wrap for this episode of DubLife Diaries. Thanks for riding along with us and diving into these incredible stories of the people in the dubs that drive their dreams. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe or hit that follow button so you never miss an adventure. Do you have a story to tell or know somebody else who's living the dub life? Awesome! Reach out to us. You can find us on all socials at DubLife Diaries or shoot me an email. I'm not hard to find. DubLifeDiaries@gmail.com. Until next time, keep the engines humming and the wheels turning, and always follow the road that inspires you. This is Joe Person. I'm signing off. I'll catch you on the next ride.